very, very good contest that between the two new debutants. Perhaps the match of the IPL so far. 4 down for 30 to 160, and then just when it looked that the Gujarat Titans are out of it, they came back thanks to another Rahul Tewatia classic. Really, really good match. My panelists, Joydeep Mukherjee, Abhijit Deshmukh and Priya Jatani. Joydeep, to you first. Mohammad Shami, what first spell was that? Unbelievable. KL Rahul, and that delivery first up. Manish Pandey, I mean, he broke the back of that Lucknow batting lineup. Tremendous first spell, Joydeep Mukherjee.
Absolutely. When you see a new Kookaburra ball in the hands of Mohammad Shami, with the skills he has, and there is a little bit of juice in the pitch, as I was saying in the morning, and when the game starts, and that he has the armory to take advantage of that. He swings it on even dry conditions. Once your release is good, once your seam position is good, but how well did he start? It was a peach of a delivery to KL Rahul. He had to play at it because you don't know. It's the first ball. You don't know if it's going to swing or not. You can't just let it go. If you've played a couple of balls and it's swinging out, then you can let it go. But the first ball on middle and off stump, you have to play it. And then the way he set up Quinton de Kock as well, coming round the wicket, jagging it back in, bowling a few balls outside off stump, setting him up, really outstanding. And, anything he does with a cricket ball doesn't surprise me.
Coming to you, Abhijit, Ayush Badoni, under 19, all of us remember that match against Sri Lanka. All of us remember that same team, Prabsimran Singh, Ayush Badoni, that same team. Lots of them now breaking through the ranks. Gautam Gambhir touch, in a way, Ayush Badoni, putting him in the mix. That's Gautam Gambhir for you. What a superb innings from the youngster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 50 on a debut, I mean, it's remarkable. It just shows how the strength of, good cricketers we have now. And I would say he was a bit lucky. His catch was dropped by Lockie Ferguson, but I think still an incredible performance by him. I just like to add one point about the track of Wankhede Stadium. In the first game between CSK and KKR, Umesh Yadav also did extremely well with 3 wickets. I think that's what Mohammad Shami also did. And his first 3 was just cost 10 runs. And he took 3 wickets. It was only the last over where Mohammad Shami had gone for 15. So it was 25 or 4 overs. But incredible performance by Shami.
Priya, in the middle of all of that, while Mohammad Shami was breathing fire, all of a sudden you have a Shubman Gill taking one of those stunners of Evan Lewis, and that sort of put Lucknow on further on the back foot, 30 for 4.
Exactly.
So talk about that Shubman Gill catch.
Exactly. So early wickets falling of the big players, that's what kind of put Lucknow on the back foot, as you said. KL Rahul, Quinton de Kock, even Lewis, Manish Pandey, and then we were like, it's all gone now. Nothing can happen. And then they make a comeback with Ayush Badoni, with Huda coming in. What a partnership that was. And this youngster Ayush Badoni. I mean, I was listening to that little interview he gave later on, and he was like, I wasn't even looking at the scoreboard. I didn't even know when I hit my 50, and he was even hesitant in the beginning, and then he hit that first boundary, and that's what kind of gave him the confidence. And I mean, brilliant performance by him. And yeah, and then finally they ended up putting up a good total.
Correct. And Joydeep, that partnership that Priya is referring to, Deepak Hooda and Ayush Badoni, Hooda showed a lot of maturity, took Ayush Badoni along, guided him along to that partnership, which allowed them to have a competitive total. Credit to Lucknow, they didn't give it up. They fought till the end. When Marcus Stoinis comes there, automatically they'll be boosted. But so it was a good effort in the end. Joydeep?
Yeah, it was. But I just thought where the lack was some power hitting right at the end. So Huda and Badoni did most of the repair work. So there was no Tewati at the end to come and get a 20 of 10 balls. That would have given this another 20 runs. So most of the bulk of the runs were scored between maybe 12 and 18, and 19 and 20 were fairly quiet for a T20 game. So sometimes in these teams, you have that special player at 6, 7, 8 who comes and gives you a little bit of a boost. It's an 8 ball 18. It's a 9 ball 22. And that puts the total beyond your opponents.
And that's what Marcus Stoinis is expected to do, or maybe even a Jason Holder, come the time when these two fellows will come and join the Lucknow ranks. But once again to Joydeep, before I go to Abhijit again, Dushmanta Chavira, good first pitch, shows if you have pace, genuine pace, you can rattle any batter. But Shubman Gill, somewhat uncharacteristic. First ball hoik, after that leg bye for Joydeep?
Yeah, it's possible. I think he's trying to change the way he's been batting. There's been a lot of talk about his strike rate in KKR. He obviously wants to make the T20 World Cup team, and he knows what the yardstick is. He knows who he's competing with. He knows their strike rates pretty well. So I think he's trying to make a statement, maybe, and that's what I think it is. I'm just thinking aloud, but I feel that he has the capability. I first saw him in a KKR net in 2018 when he first came after the World Cup, and we were in the nets at the Jadavpur University campus, and I remember him getting to the net and not defending one ball from the fast bowlers, and everybody was in awe of him. And this kid has just come from under 19, and the full team was there, all the international bowlers, and I don't think he defended one ball from the fast bowlers. So he obviously has the ability. Now it's a question of putting it. It's only one game, but he wants to work on that strike rate. That was evident today.
Priya, if I can come to you, I mean, Rahul Tewatia, people talk about him as this phenomenon. Rahul Tewatia once again doing it. And to be able to do this consistently, he's not a freak anymore. You've got to give it to the man. Time and again cannot happen unless you are that good. Rahul Tewatia.
Exactly. So he was one name I wanted to mention even when we were talking pre-game, because we've seen him in the last IPL as well and chasing a total of 220 plus when it looked like a dead game. And he's done it once again, this time in a pressure situation. He's, helped the team to chase that total and, helped his team win it.
And he's very handy with the ball as well.
Yes.
Very handy with the ball as well, which we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. And Rahul Tewatia will be used. I mean, his leggies will come of use. But Abhijit, to finish off, Abhinav Manohar, still the game was on the how do I put it, on the knife's edge when Abhinav Manohar Sadrangini walked in, and then those three shots that Avesh Khan over. He was superb. Talk about temperament. You're talking Ayush Badoni, you're talking Abhinav Manohar, and all of a sudden you're seeing Indian talent come through to the fore, and that is tremendous to see. Whoever wins, how do we care? But when you see talent like Badoni and Abhinav Abhijit Deshmukh.
Yeah, I think Abhinav is just playing his third or fourth match of the IPL his entire career, and probably he's at the center stage where everybody's watching, and it's a very precious situation. Last over, 10, 11 runs. It's a tough job. Although we can say in this T20 era, it's possible, but it's very tough. And even the first shot he hit, I think everyone assumed it was 6, but it was 4. Then again, the 2 runs different, it still gets into the mind. But then again, what a wonderful shot for a boundary, and I think that relieves the pressure of Rahul Tewatia as well. And then wonderful knock. I think 15 of 7, best cameo for the IPL.
Exactly what Joydeep was saying, that 15 of 7, that push that Gujarat Titans got. Krunal Pandya was expected to do that for the Lucknow Super Giants. Joydeep, yes, the match is on one side. Gujarat did well, Lucknow did reasonably okay, very competitive, but the point that you made initially, there was one man who bowled 4, bowled on the trot, and was clocking 137 to 140, 41, then batted at 4. Hardik Pandya is back.
He is certainly back. About his bowling, it will take some time because it's a rhythm thing with fast bowlers. Good to see that he's physically. For me, it was all about physically whether he can bowl 140 again or not. It's not about, you don't lose your skills. You don't lose your skills overnight. You don't lose your skills over a season. But when your body is not sure, when you're not sure about how much load it can take, and if it's a serious one that he's been through, then once you can bowl 140, I was very, very happy to see. Batting at number 4, it's a different ball game. I'm not sure he's going to bat at number 4 for India. He's going to bat at 6 or 7. The skills are totally different over here. But how good was he when he batted? He had so much of time. He looked like he was playing the team as a batter. He doesn't bowl at all. That's how good he looked when he batted. He got some freebies on the middle and leg and clipped them through mid-wicket. But even when he defended or he let the ball go, he just played it for one. He had so much of time, and that's the quality of a good player. And I got out to a ball, he would maybe 99 times out of 100 hit into the stands.
Priya, Krunal Pandya versus Hardik Pandya.
I know, right? Like brother versus brother. Bhai ko bhai ki weakness pata hoti hai, as they say. So it was that's what happened here as well. Hardik Pandya came in, tried to make the score stable after the early wickets were down. Got into, kept his cool and everything. Got that stable score along with his partnership with Matthew Wade, but then eventually got out at the ball from his brother Krunal Pandya.
But that is the point that Joydeep made, Vijit. That ball 99 times out of 100 would have landed in the stands. Today it landed in Manish Pandey's hands, but that's it. And Krunal Pandya's reaction said it all. He couldn't celebrate. He was laughing, sheepishly laughing. But these are moments of the IPL. Exactly. These are moments of the IPL. Talk about it, Abhijit Deshmukh.
No, I mean, जैसे लोहा का लोहा काटता है वैसे भाई ने भाई को काटा. So, yeah, I mean, what a moment, I would say. His celebration, I mean, he didn't do that, and it goes out. But I think if you see the victory of Gujarat Titans today, I think most of the Indians contributed it. I think it's going to be, and if you see the squad of Gujarat Titans, they don't have a big name, foreign players apart from Rashid Khan. So I think if you see the performance of Lockie Ferguson, Wade, and David Miller, I think they have to shift their gears up now, because there are not many of more foreign players that can really contribute. I think this is going to be it was a test for them. I think they have to have to shift their gears now.
Joydeep, from what I saw of the Lucknow team, not every day will you have a Mohammad Shami spell. Not every day will a Quinton de Kock, KL Rahul, Manish Pandey, and Evan Lewis get out cheap. Chennai Super Kings is the next opponent. Lucknow will feel reasonably confident. I mean, that even after a top order collapse, they were able to take that game to the third last delivery. Against the Chennai Super Kings, they'll go in reasonably confident, hoping that, you know what, once the top order fires, you've got a good side.
No, absolutely. There are two opinions about that. See, it wasn't a great game, but they still took it to the last over. Okay. Really not a good start. And also, you got to remember that when your top order does well, which will be maybe 5 games out of 14, 6 maybe if they're really good, then you don't need your 6, 7, 8 so much. But it's your 6, 7, 8 that win you the tournament. If you look about the Pollards, you look at the Ravindra Jadejas, you look at the people who have won trophies. What have people done at 6, 7, 8? What did Hardik Pandya do from Mumbai? What did Krunal Pandya do from Mumbai in games when they were in trouble? So when you're not in trouble, everything is good. But when you're in trouble, who bails you out? That's what separates the teams that win trophies versus the teams that don't end up winning trophies. So whichever team has a good 6, 7, 8 will actually go ahead and win the trophy, because that's where the pie lies, really. And also, there will be some match where a Shane Watson will come and get 100 in the final and blow you away. But in general, you will see that if you're strong in the middle, that's where it's most important. And when the going gets tough, these are the guys that bail you out.
Joydeep, before I go to Priya and Abhijit, I mean, Ravi Bishnoi, 3 excellent overs before that last over. 2 real bad deliveries on leg stump. Rahul Tewatia, all he needed to do, fine leg inside. Was it inexperience? Was it under pressure? 17th over, the previous over had gone for 22. Was it because of all of that? Because the kid has a lot of talent. There's no question about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what he doesn't have is the ability to bowl slow. And when you have somebody like a Rahul Tewatia, who's a master player of spin, I would never give him, if I was in the coaching staff with the opponents, I wouldn't even give him 1 over of spin. If he has to get his runs, he has to get all his runs against the fast bowlers. I know he's put Cottrell out of the IPL, I know that, but that is one game. But spinners, he's outstanding. I follow him in domestic cricket for Haryana. He's one of the best players of spin, and he can murder you. So to give him Deepak Hooda was a buffet. To give him even Bishnoi. And Bishnoi under the gun gets quicker. The best spinners in the world under the gun get slower, especially on a wicket, because there's a saying that the worse the wicket for a spinner, the quicker the bowling. The better the wicket for the spinner, the slower the bowling. And he under the gun got really quick, which played into Tewatia's hands. Here a Shane Warne would have come and really tossed it up in the air. A Chahal would have come and tossed that googly up in the air outside off stump. He would have to hike that over mid-wicket. He doesn't play that ball over cover. Give him no pace. Then the top edge to short fine. Then that the slog sweep up in the air. Then the 1 to over covers to sweeper comes into play. But if you bowl so quick on such a good wicket, you're not going to get away.
That's exactly what I was, watching and thinking, come on, outside off, loop it up. That's when the challenge happens.
He doesn't have that ball body as yet. I haven't seen him bowl slow ever. He's got an action like Rashid, which is a quick
And
arm action,
it's the
but Rashid
slider.
can still
That's
bowl
what he
it slow.
bowls.
Yeah, he bowls. He doesn't spin his leg spin. He's basically a googly and a straight bowler as of now. He'll learn, but the leg spin will come into play when you bowl a bit slower, and that is something he'll learn. I played Anil Kumble when he started. He was exactly like this. Different bowler, of course, a finger spinner, but he could only bowl really quick. But he had a rotator cuff injury. Then he came back a much slower bowler and had a lot more in his repertoire as a leg spinner and became the bowler that we all know.
Excellent analysis. Priya, coming to you, Gujarat Titans, Lucknow Super Giants, two new teams. They have demonstrated in their very first game that they belong. That's what is more important. They've shown fight. They've shown courage. They've shown that they can take it to the last. It was a top game. Yes, low scoring, but it was a very good game to watch. That's what you want. You want close contests because that's what the IPL is all about. Priya?
Absolutely. At some point, it even looked like it might go into a super over. Who knew, and then it kept us till the edge of our seats, right? Like till the last ball, what's going to happen. And that's what we enjoy. As you rightly said, IPL is all about entertainment and fun and dhamaka days. And today, a low scoring game, but yet a very entertaining one.
That's absolutely beautifully put. And Abhijit Deshmukh, so tomorrow we are seeing you at the ground again. Rajasthan Royals making their debut against Sunrisers. Closing comments, Abhijit Deshmukh. Tomorrow we will have you from the ground. What are your thoughts? Sunrisers or Rajasthan, and why?
Well, I think after the auctions, I think both teams have some new faces, but I think advantage will be for SRH because Rahul Tripathi, he's a local boy, and he knows the stadium very well. He has played here a lot, and I think these are small things which is making difference to the squad. Like with the KKR, Shreyas Iyer, and Ajinkya Rahane was there, so that has impacted them to win the first match. This small thing's going to help, and I think slightly advantage to SRH, I would say.
Okay, Joydeep. On the one hand, you have a Devdutt Padikkal, a Sanju Samson, a Joss Butler, and then you have an Ashwin and a Chahal. You have a Krishna and a Bolt. That's some team, Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rajasthan Royals. I haven't seen the pitch as yet, so I'll pick mine tomorrow when I'm on the show. But just on paper, without having a look at the pitch, just looking at the two teams on paper, I'll have to go with the Rajasthan Royals.
I agree with you there. Priya, closing comments from you. Rajasthan or Sunrisers?
Well, again, I'll have to look at the sheets tomorrow and analyze it better. But I have some roots from Rajasthan as well. So for now, I'll just keep my heart with Rajasthan. I'll tell you what my mind goes with tomorrow.
Okay,
Nice.
So Lakshmi Mishtan Bhandar. Lakshmi Mishtan Bhandar is what we are going with for tonight. Rajasthan Royals. Not the kebabs. We'll have the khakras for tonight. That's fine.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
the roll of the dice. The roll of the dice, as you know. And on the other side, I thank my panelists Joydeep Mukherjee, Abhijit Deshmukh, and of course Priya Jethani. But you have this video that Shopnil will play. Ayush Badoni celebrating the young man. What a fabulous IPL innings. A touch of class. That's what you want to see. On that note, Joydeep, Abhijit, Priya, thank you very much for joining. Tomorrow we will be back 7 p.m. But before that, during the day, we've heard it, Rajasthan versus Sunrisers. So we have an exclusive with Sanju Samson, the captain of Rajasthan. We have an exclusive with Kane Williamson, the captain of Sunrisers. So those two exclusives coming your way tomorrow. And of course, we will see you at 7 p.m. For the moment, enjoy this, Ayush Badoni. On the losing side, but nonetheless, a terrific debut. Joydeep Mukherjee, Abhijit Deshmukh, Priya Jethani. Thank you very much. And to all our viewers, good night.
Good night.
Lucknow Super Giants Ayush Badoni made a memorable debut in the IPL on Monday against Gujarat Titans. The youngster from Delhi slammed a brilliant 54 runs of 41 balls to lead LSG recovery after they were releged at 32 for 4 in 6 overs. Badoni was picked at the IPL 2022 mega auctions only after the recommendations of mentor Gautam Gambhir. The youngster turned out to be a messiah beside Deepak Hooda as delivered in his very first game against Gujarat Titans. The duo shared a partnership of 87 runs for the fifth wicket, which paved the way for a brilliant recovery. Badoni slammed 54 runs of just 41 balls that comprised 4 boundaries and 3 sixes. He reached a landmark 50 runs with a 6. The 22-year-old from Delhi came in at 29 for 4 and got dismissed in the last over when Super Giants were 156 for 6. The knock played by Badoni speaks volumes about his character and temperament. He played the role of an anchor when Huda scored the runs and then changed his game of being an aggressor after his departure. Badoni was brought by Lucknow Super Giants for a price of INR 20 lakhs at the IPL 2022 mega auctions. Ayush hogged the limelight after his heroics in the 2018 Under-19 tournament.